Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Donna, and I am your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday. Beginning at 1 p.m. That's Central Time is AP, and I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. So thank you again so much for being with us. You can find us on the radio at icradio.media, where we are Fox News affiliates. You can also find us on television, Channel 182, Charter Communications, Abundant Television, which is syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on the newscasters.com. And I still read all of your emails. So please continue to send those. They make my day. Donna at donnasedge.com. That's Donna at donnasedge.com. Okay, so I have AP Steadham with me right now. He's a talk show host. Everybody loves, especially you Texans out there. What's going on with Texas? So let's see. Where else? California. You're getting a lot of folks in California. And so but all over the country. But anyway, thank you again so much for watching. And AP, it also has a show on our station, and that's on Fridays at 4 p.m., Football Friday at 4. AP, how are you doing?
Hey, Donna. So glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm on the road, but I'm always glad to do the show, and we always love to we appreciate you having us on 4 p.m. Friday. 4 p.m. Central, AP and Kelly, as we see, we thank you so much, and we're always glad to be here and discuss all the topics that people have an interest in, and always get back to you with those questions.
Well, we're tickled that you're on the show with us, and this has been going on for a long time. I don't even know how many years, but anyway, we're tickled to have you.
Yeah, we don't look back, we move forward, right, Don? We're always moving forward.
Absolutely. And that's what you have to do in today's changing world. And so football, I'm beginning to see a new outlook on football, and I'm digging it. I think it's pretty cool the way things are happening, the way things are actually coming forth. And but I wanted to show a video. This is an interview you did, and let's talk a little bit about it before we go into the interview.
Right. Yeah, this is a gentleman. He's in College Station, Texas. I believe we just named the new sports director. But so we were discussing Texas A&M, and they have a brand new coach down, Mike Elko, coming from the Duke University, was the head coach, but he was at Texas A&M in the past. He's a defensive-minded coach. So he's coming to College Station to replace Jimbo Fisher, and I think he's going to do a better job with that talent. And now the interesting thing, Donna, with Texas A&M and their fans, Texas is now in the conference. So once again, the rivalry is going to be renewed. And it's kind of bitter, I think, as you can understand. But Texas A&M's first game, Donna, is against the University of Notre Dame. And you're saying, well, why is that so special? Well, a couple of reasons. You're playing Notre Dame. That's the national team for about 100 years, right? Everybody knows the Notre Dame is South Bend, Indiana. But the quarterback from Duke, who happens to be from Fairhope, Alabama, Riley Leonard, he played for Mike Elko last year at Duke. So he'll be the new quarterback at Notre Dame going against his former coach. So that is a big story. That's one of the bigger stories to start the season. What are the odds and the chances the coach moves and the quarterback moves and you're playing each other? It's not even in the middle of the season. It's the very first game.
I believe there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. Things just happen the way they're supposed to happen. And I think that's one of them right there. Let's go ahead and show the video. And it's about a little bit over 7.5 minutes, but we'll be back, and then we'll be going into a break after that. So everybody hang in there.
Hi, this is AP Steadham of AP and Kelly As We See It syndicated radio live in Dallas, Texas at the 2024 SEC Football Media Days. We're going to have a gentleman discuss the Texas A&M Aggies, and our special guest is
Tyler Shaw with KBTX in College Station.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyler, for being here for a few moments to discuss the Aggies. New coach Mike Elko, a breath of fresh air. What can you tell us about Mike Elko?
Well, he wants to instill a new culture around the team right now. He's a very hard-nosed, put your head down, get to work kind of a football coach. Very defensive-minded, very smart guy too. So he knows what he's doing. He knows how to assemble a staff. That was apparent when he went to Duke for a couple of years and really turned that program around very quickly. So he proved he can do it as a head coach, and he proved he can coach as a defensive coordinator at Texas A&M already. So if anything, this defense is going to be stellar. We'll know that.
He knows the landscape down in College Station. Yeah. What can we say about the quarterback? He has ability, but injuries. prevented him from excelling.
Right, injuries is the biggest thing, and a lot of that because Connor Wigman has ability, and we asked him today just to make sure, because going into every season the past few years, we haven't really known who the starting quarterback is going to be. You know, they didn't even bring a quarterback to media days, but Elko did say yes, Connor Wigman is the starter, unless someone comes in and just lights it up during fall camp and beats him out.
Right.
But he's a mobile guy. He's a dual threat. He's pretty accurate from what we've seen. It's just going to be a matter of getting him healthy. He looks a lot bigger this year too, so maybe that'll help with his durability. And the offensive line is also going to be the biggest thing, is can they keep him healthy?
What do you think about the offensive line? Do you believe they'll be able to protect him with regularity?
That's that's my biggest question mark on the team. That's
not good.
No, it's not. But they could prove me wrong. It's one of those that I'll believe it when I see it, kind of a thing.
Yes.
Because every year the offensive line has had its issues, and they haven't figured it out over these past few years. They do have a new offensive line coach. Maybe he will kind of help shore some things up. They do have a lot of experience. That always helps. So they have the experience there. Let's just see if they can work together as a unit and sustain an SEC season.
Who might be that person or persons on the perimeter that will keep a defensive coordinator up at night?
On the offensive line perimeter,
the offensive side, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs.
The guy that'll Noah Thomas he's a tall dude, 6'5", is a vertical threat. That's going to keep a lot of guys up at night. Now, in the running back room, I believe Le'Veon Moss is a name to watch out for. I think he's going to have a breakout season. But I think apart from him, it's a very kind of by committee type thing right now. And I think they are going to just kind of ground and pound their way this season.
That's good for the quarterback because it helps some relief, and he can use that play action pass.
Right. If they can get that run game going, that's going to help Wigman a whole lot, and hopefully he won't be relied on as much in his first full season starting if he makes it the whole way there.
Right, hopefully so.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, what can we say about the defensive line, the linebacker core, and then the last line of defense is the secondary? I'm always looking at that group.
Yeah.
Are they in unison? I always describe it as a chorus line. Are you in step?
So I think the strongest unit is probably the defensive line. They've got some dudes up there up front. They've got a guy, Shamar Turner, who was here at Media Days, that moved from the edge. He's going into the interior defensive line now. He gained 30 pounds, but he's very mobile, very active. So they got in a Purdue All-American from the Big Ten, Nick Scorton, coming in as an edge rusher, and I think he's going to have a fantastic season. Shamar Stewart, another edge rusher that's big. When we're moving our way back to the linebackers, Torian York had an All-SEC freshman season, and as a sophomore, he's a team captain. They're going to miss Edgerrin Cooper into the NFL, but I think Torian York will help fill that. And then the secondary, I would say the biggest thing they've got going for them is Mike Elko, because he's had experience coaching DBs and things. So I have confidence that the secondary will be kind of a cohesive unit just because of the head coach.
Can the kicker win the ball game?
We will see. They've had kickers come and go, so it's going to be a new kicker this year, and there might be a little bit of a competition. So special teams, I think, is kind of a question mark right now too, and up in the air. But again, with Mike Elko, I'm confident that they will have a unit out there that can sustain them.
And I don't ever worry about the punter too much unless he's terrible.
Right. No, they don't have a terrible punter. They've got another guy from Australia coming in, and they've had a pretty good recent history of excellent punters. So I think they're gonna keep that going.
Any young freshman might have a chance to contribute as a reserve or a starter.
A big name is Terry Bussey. He's a very athletic high school kid out of Timpson, Texas. A five-star recruit that just lit it up in high school. Mike Elko kind of laughs every time he's asked about him, though, because he doesn't want to put too much pressure. He said, listen, he is very talented, but let's just let him mature and let him grow as an athlete. I don't want to, put so much pressure on him, but I would not be surprised in the slightest if he ends up being a big impact guy eventually this season.
I had a chance to ask the coach about Riley Leonard, his former quarterback at Duke. Riley played at the town right next door to me in Fairhope, Alabama, so nice. I know Riley. I saw him play high school basketball. He has the alley-oop dunks, the 20-footers. He could have played Division I basketball, and I watched him play quarterback, and I was thinking he's going to be a nice player for Alabama or Auburn, but they chose otherwise. And now Riley is the quarterback of one of the best national brands of all time, Notre Dame. He'll be visiting his old coach in College Station, and the game day will be there as well. So that's quite a kickoff for the head coach.
Oh, it's a great first game. A lot of great stories. I mean, you got the Riley Leonard connection and the basketball thing. I love when you got guys that are just freakish athletes like that. But when you have, the Riley Leonard and Mike Elko connection. But then Mike Elko was also a defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. So it's, coach with former player, coach with former team, at Kyle Field, at a night game. That's the College Game Day is going to be there, College Station Week 1. I think that's the best way to start a season. It's going to be a lot of fireworks.
A lot of eyes. Anything we did not address, Tyler?
No, other than, my biggest takeaway right now with Texas A&M is there's not a lot of noise around them, and Mike Elko is fine with that. He's perfectly fine with that. With Jimbo Fisher, there was always a lot of something going on in the offseason, preseason, and a lot of hype too. National contenders. There's not that talk with Texas A&M, and that's how Mike Elko likes it. He wants to put his head down, go to work, and let the play on the field speak for himself.
You heard it from Tyler. Thank you so much, Tyler. This is AP Steadham of AP and Kelly. As we see it, syndicated radio here live in Dallas, Texas at the 2024 SEC Football Media Days. Thank you.
Okay, we're back, and so is AP, but we are going to go into a really quick commercial break. We'll be right back in just a few minutes, so everybody hang in there.
Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community. Whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need, toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018.
We're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, and beginning at 1 p.m. Central as we get to ride home with you. AP Steadham is with us, and we were just looking at an interview, fascinating interview. You get all the good ones.
Yeah, it was fun. I really enjoy being at these media events because I see people from all around the conference in the country, and they have in-depth knowledge. I mean, I've observed when we're there, listening to the head coaches and the players, but I like to get their specific viewpoints because they're with the teams every day in that city.
I know you had a topic you wanted to cover about coaches. You want to begin now?
Yes, coaches, Donna, one of the keys to having a successful season is scheduling philosophy. Now, if you have a very strong team and you want to have them motivated right from the beginning, not to take anyone lightly, you're going to schedule a team like Notre Dame, and that's who Texas A&M will play their very first game. But some teams, maybe they don't have the all-star type players, and they're developing players, and that first game is critical to get their mindset right, being positive and starting off with a victory. Because there's some players are young. If they had started the season with a loss, it creeps into their confidence level. Mm-hmm. So what I thought we might do today in this remaining segment is go over the first game for every team. We spoke about Texas A&M. We spoke about Texas A&M. So they're playing Notre Dame the very first game. But we'll start at the top alphabetically. That's the easiest way, Don, to start. Alabama's going to play Western Kentucky, and I think that's good because they have the new coach. That's probably a good idea. It's not that he scheduled that game, but it was already in place when he was hired. And then you take it like Auburn, they're in the second year with Hugh Freeze. They're going to play Alabama A&M. That's a home game. So I think that's perfect for them because they're trying to launch that offense with these new receivers. They have the quarterback that if you have some talent that supports him, he's probably going to be he's going to be much better this year. That's my projection at this.
Give a little bit of momentum too. So you
want to get that momentum early. Yeah, momentum's key. Now you brought up a great point. Momentum. And then you have Florida. And their coach, that seat down it couldn't be any hotter. But he's going to face Miami, and that coach in Miami, he's on the hot seat too. So that game is in Gainesville. Now that's in-state rivalry that they played for many years, off and on. So Florida, they know their team has to be ready because they're playing Miami. A lot of talent, And then we have Georgia. Kirby Smart, he's been at that program for so many years, national championships. So they're playing Clemson down in Atlanta. We all know Clemson with Dabo Swinney. They're going to have a good football team. So that is a critical game. We call it a pendulum game, Donna, because it's an ACC power versus an SEC power. So when the voters, even whether it's consciously or subconsciously, they're looking at that game, who won that game at the beginning of the year, those two big conferences. Then you have the next team we're looking at is Kentucky. They're playing Southern Miss in Lexington. That's a team Kentucky should beat. And they have a transfer quarterback, Brock Vandegrift from University of Georgia. We know he has talent, but he hasn't had a chance to establish himself in college football because he's been behind Carson back at Georgia. So that's a very good scheduled game for Kentucky to play Southern Miss because they should win that game. Now here's where it gets interesting down with LSU.
Uh-huh.
They can't play defense, and they're playing Southern California. They can't play defense as well. It's a neutral site game in Las Vegas, and they both have new quarterbacks. Matter of fact, it's kind of funny. I just thought about this while we're on the air. Both are replacing Heisman Trophy quarterbacks. I don't know if that's ever happened before. I don't know if that's ever happened before, Donna. Two teams, both replacing a Heisman Trophy quarterback, starting the season with new quarterbacks. So LSU has Garrett Nussmeier, had over 300 yards in the win over Wisconsin in the bowl. And the quarterback from and both of them had tremendous bowl wins. The quarterback for USC, he replaced Caleb Williams last year because Caleb didn't participate, just like Jaden Daniels didn't participate in the bowl for LSU. He threw for a record-setting 6 touchdowns, these two young quarterbacks. So one quarterback with 6 touchdowns in the bowl. Garrett Nussmeier, LSU, over 300 yards, beat Wisconsin. So those quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, are good. So the first time they had a chance to start, they were not only good, they were exceptional. So then we look at the next team on the list is Ole Miss plays Furman in Oxford. So they're looking to win that game, of course. That's a good schedule for them, a good scheduled team for them. Mississippi State plays Eastern Kentucky. So they should win that game. They have a new coach. They're trying to get off to a good start. They have trouble scoring points. The new coach is an offensive-minded guru. So that's an excellent team for them to play Eastern Kentucky. Now we have Missouri coming off that 11-win season. They're a hot team. I think they can slide up in that top 2 or 3 in the SEC. I believe they're going to open up with Murray State at home in Columbia. So I think that was a good choice for them. We have Oklahoma, brand new in the SEC. We know everybody's excited to see the Sooners. They're playing Temple. Temple's a team they should beat at home. So they can kind of ease into that schedule right away. They don't have to play a top-notch, a top-rated team. Then you have South Carolina trying to get it back on the winning track. Old Dominion, which I wouldn't take them lightly, Don. I think they've upset some people in the past, but that's a good team for them. So South Carolina. Then you have Tennessee with the new quarterback. Chattanooga will be playing Chattanooga in Knoxville. So I think that's the correct choice. You have Texas playing Colorado State. Colorado State, over the years, they've had some teams that have been competitive. But Texas, a lot of people back, need some people on defense, but the quarterback returns, Quinn Ewers. So they're playing Colorado State. That's fine. And then we spoke about Texas A&M, Notre Dame. Big game for both programs. Big game for both programs down at Texas A&M versus Notre Dame in College Station. And then it's an interesting game to me, I think. Vanderbilt plays Virginia Tech at home. But that's a tough game for Vanderbilt, their opener. But maybe they're trying to get their team really excited for the season. And, Vanderbilt didn't win a game in the conference. So that would be a huge win for them. Huge.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's really an interesting season coming up. And I'm really excited about that. But I wanted to ask you a question because you and I are both from the corporate world. So we know how the corporate world, and in all the training, they always tell you to start with the hardest task first. Then the rest of the day, it goes much smoother. So what are your thoughts about maybe a Georgia type team or Alabama? They start with the hardest one.
Yes, I think. I think for those top teams like Alabama and Georgia, Alabama's playing Western Kentucky this year, but Georgia's playing Clemson. But in the past, Alabama has had some very difficult teams playing at a neutral site. So I think that's a positive philosophy for them because they have so many talented players. And if you schedule a team like Clemson all summer long, they don't want to be embarrassed the first game. They know that Clemson is just as good athletically, physically. Now, are they as good as a team? We don't know. We will find out. But I think for a team like Georgia and Kirby Smart, if you have that quarterback returning and you have 5-star, 4-star talent all over your roster, I think that's the correct move and correct philosophy.
Yeah, I do too, because, and again, I always like getting the things I didn't like doing out first. Get that out of the
Yes.
way. Then it's like the rest of the day was smooth sailing. But it also can backfire on you because if you start it and it ruins the
It-
rest of your day, then the rest of the day is just gone.
right, right. You could, but in the world of football, you have grabbed their attention when you schedule a team like Clemson, because sometimes those talented athletes, they think they can turn it on and off like a dial. We just click it, turn it on and off. But when you're playing Clemson the first game, they understand they better be serious throughout their workouts in the spring and in the preseason camp and all through the summer. So I think Kirby's smart. And if they do not win the game, and then he still has their attention because they thought they were going to win. They thought they were going to win, but they lost the game. So now you've got their attention again. Either way.
It's just an interesting season, and I can hardly wait for it to start. I mean, it's just always a good thing. So, as far as what you're seeing right now, and I know this whole thing can just erupt. It could be totally different. Right now, who would your top 5 teams be?
Yeah, top 4 team. You have to start with Georgia, I believe. I think you do, and or Ohio State. Either one, I would select either one or two or one, and then after that, Donna, when you're looking across the country. I mean, people like Texas a lot, because they have their quarterback returning and they seem to be back to their winning ways. But I caution people because Steve Sarkisian, he's been coaching quite a while. I think 10 years. He's only won 10 games one season, and that was last year. Last year won the 12 games, I believe it was. So that's a cautionary tale for me to select Texas. They always speak about we're back. Mm-hmm. And they had that slogan for a while, and that's not been the case. So we have, Georgia, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas. And then for the 4th team, you could look at somebody, you can look at a Florida State, you can look at a Penn State, you can look at a Michigan. I just don't have a strong 4th team done. I really, to me, because it's why this year, like I've told you in the past, I think it is wide open besides Georgia and Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do too. I agree with you there. So who would be your Cinderella team?
Yes, Cinderella team. Could Penn State finally come through? They usually lose to Michigan and Ohio State. Could they come through and get in the playoffs and win a few games? Could Penn State? In the SEC, you have a team like Missouri. Could Missouri continue? They had 11 wins last season. Good quarterback, Cook, Luther Burden III, wide receiver, dynamic, one of the best in the country, productive. Can Missouri surprise some people? That's the show me state. Can they show us?
They're stubborn out there too.
Yes.
Absolutely. They got that name. Okay, so we're going to have to, coming up on the close, and time just flies by too fast. So on AP and Kelly, as we see it, who do you have as a guest? Do you have anybody lined up this week?
Yeah, I don't have anybody lined up. Donna, we're kind of deliberating, but last week we had Alan Bear. Alan's been on the SEC scene for a while. Alan was born in Birmingham, but he's written books about Coach Bryan, and he's always observing the SEC, writing, for the New York Times, Wall Street Journal in the past. So it is an interesting conversation. And he has a story that he's writing about Coach Bryant and Nick Saban. He's going to discuss them and who we might think is the best, which is a very difficult proposition.
Okay, so in any book written about either one of those two is going to be a good, it'll be flying out on the shelves.
Yes.
I promise you that. AP, thank you so much for being with us today. It's always a pleasure. Where are you at right now, by the way?
I am in Connecticut right now. My cousin's house. So I'm up here for a little while, taking care of a few things. But I'll be back south soon. And that football season is right around the corner. It's on us.
Can't wait. AP, thank you again so much for being on the show. And as always, thank everyone for watching Donna's Edge on IEC Radio, your source for news and entertainment, where you can find AP on IEC Radio Football Friday at 4 p.m., and that is Central Time. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the day.